What we want to do in the so-called National Democratic Movement is simple. But we need your cooperation at every local government. We need the cooperation of everybody at the local government. Now, what we intend to do, you will recall very well that in most cases, it is the various political parties that will come up and tell you, this is our candidate. This is the political candidate for for XYZ party. This is the candidate for XYZ party. They come to tell you that. How he emerged, you don't know. You don't know if he's influenced by one financial person. You don't know whether he is, he is the son of XYZ. You don't know the link between him and the governor. You don't know the link between him and this and that. But the party comes to tell you, this is our candidate for APC. This is our candidate for PDP. This is our candidate for NCP. And you, as the electorate, you go after it, you go and vote. We want to bring an end to that now. What the National Democratic Movement is now advocating or is about to do is to allow you at the local government to now decide your own candidate in every local government. You need to come together in your local government, decide who you want to elect, you want to represent you, not the political parties. That's what we're advocating now. It is the strong power of the electorate, one of the strongest powers of the electorate. You sit down in your local government and decide who you want to represent you at the state assembly and at the national assembly. That's what we want you to do. If you can decide that, we don't want a situation where the political parties will be the one to now dictate to the various local government who is going to represent them. That is one of the problems we have been having. So we are taking the power back to the people at the grassroots now. And that's what we call ourselves, Tayeshe, which is called Gaya Dunia in Hausa, and Mezie Unwa in the Igbo. We want to make this world, Nigeria, a better place. And the key ingredient to it is for you and I to understand that we can do this by making sure that we get our own candidate from the local government, from the grassroots. If we can do that, we can succeed. We can succeed. What we want you to do is to now go on to set up this body at your local government, and we can make a lot of difference. Now, it's not unexpected that when election is coming this way, you have been seeing situations where everybody is clamoring now for who becomes the governor of the state. This party is saying this. What you find everywhere going on is who becomes the governor, who is the governor for this political party, who is the governor for this political party. My fellow Nigerians, I want to tell you the truth. You have no business whatsoever with who become the governor of your state. It's none of your business. The most important thing to you is your local government. The most important thing to you is your federal constituency. The most important thing to you again is your central district. That is where policies are formulated that will affect your life. So if you can determine who goes into those places, then you can decide what happens. You can decide what the governor does. But if you are carried away by the plans and antics of the so-called cabal, who comes and start throwing their money around, talking about governorship election, it's a diversionary tactics of you focusing on what is very, very needful. Our various local governments have lost a minimum of 2.4 billion naira every 4 years that will have been used for development. That is if they are earning 50 million, for which I know very well by statistics. I can't remember when a local government last received 15 million in the last 16 years. It's in the region of 100, 120, 180, at times 280 million at a point in time, one local government. But let us even assume it is just 50 million naira. So in the 4 years, in the 48 months of an administration, it means your local government should have had 2.4 billion naira. You can imagine what 2.4 billion will have done in your own local government. How many people that money will have empowered by way of construction of road, by way of establishment of schools, by way of, you know, any form of development. It will trickle down to people in our various local government. But these have not happened in so many years. So most local government, the residents and the people of every local government have now been impoverished. Let me advise you, please. In the next election that is coming, please do not take part in the campaign for any governor. If you love your local government very well, and you are interested in the development of your local government, please do not partake in any campaign for any governor. Let your interest be who represents you at the State Assembly and who represents you at the National Assembly. This should be your focus. Do not judge anybody running after any governorship candidate. They have done it for several years. Of what benefit has it been to you in your local government? It's just to show that people are greedy. These are the same agents of the cabal I was talking about in your local government. They are the cabals of your in your local government. They are the agents of those cabals in your local government who believes that they can get something when he becomes a governor. They are not bothered about the development of your local government. So anybody you find running after any governorship candidate with the explanation we have given you, with the knowledge we are trying to share with you, please just understand that person does not love your local government. So what you need to do in your local government is what we want to. At every ward, at every local government, you need to go and set up Tayeshe, Gaya Dunia, Mercy Unwa, under the National Democratic Movement. You need to set it up in every ward. You have our logo here, you have everything there. Replicate it, set it up, and hold meetings regularly. We are coming down there, and to help every local government, there is a coordinator that is coming up. They will help you put everything together. You will come together at a later time, just before the whole thing, you know, snowballs out. But right now, we want you to take the right step now. Go and set up Tayeshe in the southwest, set up Gaya Dunia in the north, set up Mercy Unwa in the east. You come together afterwards and decide one person. The quality of that person, it doesn't need to have money. It's not about money. It's about the passion to serve. A lot of people who have passion to serve don't have the money. So we are coming up with an idea that you don't need to have money to serve your people. All we want is for the people to have decided that we want to get out of this bondage that some people have put us into. And we want to work together as a body. And if we want to do that, we all come together and now decide who represents us. The quality of the person is simple. He must meet the constitutional requirement, but he doesn't need to have money. But he must be very vocal, he must be bold, and he must be willing to do certain documentations that we are going to give to him under this body. We are not a political party, and we will never be a political party. Never. We are not going to be a political party. We're going to stand in the gap between the electorates and the political parties. And when the community says this is the person we want to represent us, we want to make sure we hold that person responsible, make him to put, you know, virtually all the necessary documentations in place. And we tell them, we give them a guideline of what and what they should pursue when they get to the respective legislative houses. And if any one of them fail to do that, we know the step to take to get that person out of the assembly, so it does not represent you again. So this is what we are trying to do. This is just what we are trying to do. And we want you to please. We want you to please. It's so passionate that we want you to do what we are saying. If you are listening to me and you want to be part of this structure, we would like